What's that car in the background there?
This thing?
Yeah.
You want to take a ride? This thing will hurt you, man.
Hey.
Will it scoot down the road pretty quick?
What, the iron coffin?
Iron coffin. Nice.
It's cool. Yeah, it's a 55 Chevy Gasser.
Nice.
Yeah, it's this.
We came in today. We went to Amarillo last night and got up, and we were on the road this morning at 8. I mean, I got up and on it. It's nice up there right now.
Oh, I bet so.
Did y'all get that winter storm?
No, there was actually snow on the ground starting in Amarillo. Amarillo got hit with that winter storm pretty hard.
Yeah.
And then I didn't see any more snow until we got to Silverton. So there was a little bit in New Mexico, but it wasn't a whole lot.
But it wasn't bad.
No, because we got there 2 days. We were driving through Amarillo 2 days after the initial storm, so it wasn't bad. It was still real pretty.
Mm-hmm.
It was still they got dumped on. You could tell. Oh yeah, I love it. Everybody gets on. Pepper's like, I'm going to the beer store.
Dude, I got to tell you, those sounds that were coming through were freaking crazy.
Yeah, man.
I think Seth got him though.
Yeah, we got him.
I had to get Rebecca in here to help me get it because first of all it wouldn't go, and I had to help her. She had to help me restart the computer, and then I don't know what she did a while ago, but she did something and it fucking started working. So whatever, man.
I call my woman in when I can't figure it out.
Yeah, man, it's my IT girl. It's now I'm calmed down. I'm glad he went to the beer store.
Oh yeah,
we've been running.
I'm back.
Hey,
Dang, it really was right around the corner.
right around the corner.
thank God.
Well, Pepper, it is called a couple in. You know.
Yeah, well, I got a couple in.
Good. I was telling the guys, man, I literally, we slept in Amarillo last night, and then we were on the road at 8 o'clock this morning, and
Well, damn.
really just came in and went and we can edit anything, by the way. So I came in and took a shit and grabbed a couple beers, and I came in here and like none of my shit was working. So
I saw that.
I'm screaming. I was screaming for Rebecca, and I'm like, Rebecca. I'm like Ozzy screaming for Sharon because I don't know how to do this. Like, restart your computer. I don't know how to restart a computer.
I'd have to go grab my daughter right now if I was in the weeds like that.
Yeah, it was bad, but the gang's all here.
Yeah,
kick ass, man. How you been, Pepper?
Groundhog Day.
Yeah, no doubt.
That's how it's going around here. But not too bad, We had a little storm, but that's
it's kind of been the year for those, hadn't it?
number 7 in the state of Louisiana. I mean, come on, man.
Yeah.
If I was a gambling man, I think we'd have it good for a while, but I think that's out the window.
Oh, y'all are due for a break, though, man.
I would, yeah. My theory was like, give me a 1 or a 2, see what happens. Just don't give it, a devastating one. But it was worse than I thought it would be. So.
Yeah, I talked to you the other day. You said you had the hammer out.
Had the hammer, had the chainsaw, all that. Part of the drill.
Do you write all of them out?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I got too much shit, man. I left before during Katrina and couldn't get back for 10 days, So I'd rather just hang here.
Oh, yeah.
Well, cool. Well, now that we know all the wires and the cables and the knobs are working and my shit is working on my end.
Everybody looks good. I'm not seeing any kind of jumping shit. So.
I told Pepper that I normally did these naked. He said he was thinking about it, but
yeah,
looks like we both chickened out. The
kids ain't going to see it. So.
Well, cool. Well, then I tell you what. This let's start this because this is the start of our second season of A Couple In, show number 1, season number 2. We've got Josh Thompson down in
Hey.
Boyd, Texas. How you doing,
Hey.
buddy?
I'm doing good, man. I'm excited about this.
Me too. What have you been doing?
Coaching flag football for 10-year-olds.
Nice.
It's been fun.
10's a good
Absolutely.
age.
Yeah, it's they're we're young. We're a young team this year. Have a lot to learn, but it's going to be okay.
He's in that rebuilding.
Rebuild it. He's got some
Yeah,
red shirts.
we're rebuilding this year.
He's got a lot of red shirts happening.
A lot of potential.
Bobby Keith Kilgore down around the Waco area. How are you, buddy?
I'm good, sir. How are you?
I'm good. You need to take that buck you sent me a picture of at your deer stand yesterday.
He's too young, man.
Oh, he looked good though. Give him another year, he'll be all right.
Yeah, I hope so. I'm going to Homer's on Monday. Go get me one.
Cool. Well, you been doing all right?
Yeah, I've been substitute teaching. Shout out to all the kids at Riesel ISD.
Nice.
By the way,
Are they in school?
Yeah.
Yeah, full time.
Yeah, they go from 8 to 3, but 8 to 3:30. But they got a bunch of kids out for COVID stuff. But
Mm-hmm.
other than that, it's been all right. I just tell them to turn in the work to teach less, so they don't have to hear about it when they get back.
Keith, I can honestly say, if I was in school, I would want you to be my sub. If my kids were in school, I would not.
Well, thank you.
All right, and at the bottom right of my screen, I don't know where he is on your screen, but I could go on and on and on an intro for this guy. I don't know that I've actually had one of my living, breathing heroes on this show, but man, getting it started off with Pepper Keenan, man. Thank you so much for joining us.
Aloha, brother. More than
Man.
happy to be here.
Yeah, brother, we've been talking about doing
I haven't
this.
seen 5 grown men in 2 weeks. March.
You still hadn't, man. Still hadn't. But yeah, we were talking a little bit about Groundhog Day and your 7 hurricanes and
Yeah.
all that good stuff, man. I'm glad you didn't get washed away and you were able to kick us off here on the second season, man. This is special for us.
Glad to be here.
Yeah.
Honestly.
So, music-wise, I kind of talked to you the other day. We were chatting a little bit, and I said, "Hey, man, why don't I grab my guitar and just come to Louisiana and we can just go find a place to do a song swap or something?" And you said, like, you're not doing music at all.
No, and not in New Orleans. No, it's we're still on phase 3.2, whatever that means. But nothing, no bars or music venues are open, and it's putting a hurting on some of the, your Tipitinas, things like that are taking a beating.
Well, and you're a bar owner, right?
Yeah, we've been shut down since March, except for a couple of weeks during June, I believe.
Yeah.
And now we're back open, but it's to-go drinks only. But, I don't know exactly what that means, but you get a drink and you walk outside. So hopefully, and our numbers are low here in New Orleans, believe it or not.
Because they had the COVID numbers in New Orleans had jumped up a few months ago, hadn't they?
Yeah. I mean, and when it first started, it was outrageous. I had just come back from COC tour in Australia and got back in February.
Yeah.
And then 2 days later, it was Mardi Gras. So it was just hundreds of thousands of people on the street. And Mardi Gras happened, and all of a sudden, COVID thing started getting more popular, and it just blew up from there.
Yeah.
And, it really knocked New Orleans in the butt. So we went on straight lockdown, big time,
Yeah. Well,
But,
it's
we
kinda-
muscle through it. Just wear a damn mask and go out in public and don't be stupid,
Yeah, that's kind of the way I see it too. You know, we don't live. I don't have a beer store right around the corner like you do.
Yeah.
Okay.
Thank God I can do that.
I gotta drive 30 minutes to go get beer, so that's
Uh-huh.
one way. So I have to buy usually several cases at a time. But
I used to be in that position in North Carolina.
yeah.
But yeah, right now I'm in the city.
Well, speaking of North Carolina, for those of you that don't know, for those of you that haven't been around us for the last couple of years, one of the coolest things ever, I think, is getting a country band and a metal band together. And Corrosion of Conformity is the band that Pepper sings and plays guitar for. And North Carolina is kind of where that's where everything started, right? And you met the guys whenever they were coming down in New Orleans, right?
Correct. Way, way, way back in the day. But yeah, I moved to North Carolina 1991, 90, something like that. I always tell people I became somewhat of a man in North Carolina. I left New Orleans as a kid, wild ass kid, and then got there. It probably saved my life, to be honest with you. But yeah, we were all up there, and we started doing our thing, and next thing you know, I'm back in New Orleans.
Back in New Orleans. Well, let's we'll give the listeners a little bit of kind of my thing. The first time I heard Corrosion of Conformity, I was 14, and y'all had just released Deliverance.
Yeah.
And the first time I got to see you, I was 16, and y'all were playing at the Tarrant County Convention Center with Metallica, and I think it was the show they were doing the Cunning Stunts video for. Is that right? Does that sound familiar? Do you remember?
Who, Metallica? I forgot more than I know.
Well, it was, regardless, it doesn't matter. But the first time I did get to see you guys play, and the second time we're both with Metallica. But the first time, I think y'all had just put out Wise Blood, and James had done that song with you, got Manor-Ash on that with you guys, and but that was the first time I got to see you guys. And then the third time was at Deep Ellum Live in Dallas with Clutch, which was just an incredible show. So we're going back 26 years. I've been a fan, and you can ask these other two guys that are in the pictures here. I suffer no fools and I kiss no ass, but you are undoubtedly one of my biggest vocal heroes in music, period.
I don't know about that, but
not just country music, but just music in general. And the reason being is I think that our listeners, the people that hear us, and there was a lot of people that were out at the Loud and Heavy Fest a couple of years ago, which
was awesome.
Wasn't it though?
Thank you
was so
for
much.
that. That was so much damn fun. I got to meet so many cool people.
Thank you for that, man. That was I ended up hanging out with you guys most of the day just because I was so very glad and grateful that all the bands that we invited showed up.
No, it was fantastic, man. That's a good call on that, man.
But we had such a good time throwing that down. But there's a lot of aspects, and we have a lot of crossover fans. I've been at my shows and taken pictures with fans that were wearing COC shirts and a lot of the same kind of cut cloth people. But COC is the metal band that country fans haven't realized they love yet.
Yeah, well, yeah, some of them have, some of them haven't. It depends where you're at. A lot of times we'll play a show and they'll say you sound like a pissed off Eagles, or just making light of it. But we have, it's a lot of different folks, and the more you zigzag around, and the country thing has always been big on me and Woody's end. We don't use it as a catalyst, but it is something that's definitely part. We're not from Berlin. I'll put it that way.
Well, and you have songs like Shelter. and Stare Too Long, and a couple others that, there's definitely that element of country, but y'all are very very bluesy, very blues based. I know that part of the country you guys are from
Right.
facilitates that, and I also know you're a big ZZ Top fan.
Well, yeah, big time. ZZ Top's anonymous. I'm like the president.
That's cool. I want.
You want to join?
I want to. Well, I want somebody as cool as Pepper to be Cody Jinks.
You
anonymous.
call me and say you're having a real hard time with Trace Hombres. You need to talk. We'll work through it.
Listen, I'm stuck halfway through the Tejas record. Okay, I need some help. Get this cleared up. Obviously, ZZ Top's a big influence. What were some of the other influences you had? You said, obviously you and Woody, a little bit more of the country end, but like who else?
Damn it. It ain't working, man.
Oh, shit.
Try
Yeah,
something.
showing him pros on my end. There it goes.
He looks so angry.
Yeah.
Oh, now it's completely froze.
Yep. That's what I'm seeing.
Any better?
I can hear you.
No, that's gotten worse, Pepper.
That's actually a little worse, buddy.
That's a good picture.
It's like pissed off Pepper.
Oh.
There he is.
I'm as close as I can get to the router.
All right.
That's way better.
Is it?
Yeah. Can you hear good?
I hear everything now. I'm standing next to the fridge.
Cool.
Well,
that's
close
what-
to the beer.
That's where the beer's at.
Okay, so it looks like we're better here.
Cool. Yeah, man. We'll just keep rolling, brother. No big
Okay.
deal. I just said, man, bringing up influences and yours and Woody's both kind of more on the country end and obviously ZZ Top and Southern music and blues music and stuff like that. Some specifics, growing up, who were you just jamming the shit out of?
Oh, man, there's so many different... The COC quagmire is so massive, Anything that a person would write a song that would get their point across, I was into. I didn't care what direction it was or what genre it was or anything. If somebody was, excuse my French, putting their dick on the chopping block, I was into it, And then you start to find ones that are consistent, and it could be from a punk rock band or hardcore band like Black Flag all the way to ZZ Top. You could tell the ones that kind of rose to the top and that kind of thing. And we just kind of stuck with that kind of stuff, things that just got my gut, And that's and we just started expanding. And as we were kids and got older, we started experimenting with other types of music that we weren't really part of, but we loved. And that started with like writing songs like Albatross and stuff like that, and just seeing if we could push it. Because in our world, the hardcore scene, it was a very, at one point people were running in circles and they were just the hardcore thing was so hardcore, you couldn't really get out of it. And to me, that wasn't very hardcore anymore. You were preaching to the converted. So it felt more hardcore to step out of your comfort zone and try and push it, So that's kind of became our thing. And another thing we did is not try to control the song. But if the song is heading a certain direction, just hang on with the song and go from there, not try and control it and put your stamp on it. So that was a big learning lesson for us, just being open-minded and expanding things and pushing it as hard as you could.
Letting the song breathe, let the song do what the song's going to do.
And sometimes it might just be a guitar tone, and all of a sudden you plug this certain thing in and it's like, oh shit, looks like we're going to head a different direction here, you know, and don't try to just clamp it down and squeeze it, you know, let the thing breathe and let it become itself. And you might end up going somewhere you never thought you could, you know.
Pepper, there's a lot of songs that I'm sure you like you said, you think are going one way, and it may change directions 3 or 4 times before the final product.
Absolutely. Or you might throw it in the trash, you know, who knows, you know, and I'm okay with that. You know, it doesn't hurt my feelings if the song doesn't like me anymore. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Oh, it's the same for us. You know, we'll get in, and Josh produces all of our stuff. So, you know, we'll get in the studio sometimes and I'll be stoked about one and it just doesn't work. And we'll get in the studio and I'll be like, man, I don't know about this one. And we change a tone on the guitar and then bam, it's there. You know, it's just, it's the
and
beast.
sometimes you do beat it to a pulp.
Yeah.
You know, because it's so in your brain, you've got it in your head. And the good thing about a producer or one of your buddies who, like John Custer, you know, will finish something and he'll be like, is that what you hear in your head? You know, and that's always the most important thing to me. When you're laying in your bed and you're dreaming about this thing, trying to figure it out, and all of a sudden it's on tape and you're watery eyed going, this is exactly what was in my damn head. You know, thank you, John. You know, and you just keep doing it. But sometimes it's done in 8 minutes, you know.
Lyrically, how do you choose to write? Do you words and then music and then words?
Man, it's all over the place, dude. Sometimes I'll have a very focused idea on something, and then other times it'll just be like syllabic, you know, and then sometimes those end up being cooler because it's more in the meter of what the song is, as opposed to having these lyrics and they have to fit. You know, sometimes that doesn't work. So just whatever it takes to get your point across, you know, and sometimes you have to throw your beautiful, heartfelt lyrics out the window because they don't fit with the harmony thing you're trying to do.
Yeah.
Other times it does. And, you know, at this point in the game, I've just thrown it all out the window. You know, if the song's good and it makes you feel something and you're proud to give it away, I'm in, you know.
I found the older that I get also, just from the writing lyrics aspect, you know, the less is more. Kind of the Merle Haggard approach, where it's okay if it's just a verse, chorus, bridge, chorus out. You know, it's
yeah.
It's, you know, as long as it's saying what it needs to say, and you know, like
if
you said,
it means something and it connects, then I'm in.
I like the putting your dick on the chopping block. I've always been that guy. You know, that's what I was seeking too. I wanted substance. I wanted real. Whether and you weren't even genre specific whenever you were just saying a while ago, you just wanted substance, and it didn't matter. You know, it doesn't matter if it's a Slayer song or, you know, a Rihanna song. If it makes me,
yes,
that's it. And that's what you guys do, because y'all have such a good groove.
To me, it's another thing on that. It's all about the thump.
Yeah.
You know, if it ain't got the thump, you know, I'm sure Billy Gibbons will tell you the same damn thing.
Mm-hmm.
You know, if it doesn't have that, you're kind of pissing in the wind. You know, so you take that aspect of it, and then lyrically, you know, I've written so many different directions of songs, but it's got to have that thing to it. You know, it just feels correct, and you're happy to share, and you know, this is as good as I can get it. You know,
Absolutely,
without overdoing it and beating it to a pulp. And there's something to say about songwriting on that end as well. Sometimes, how many times you made a demo, and the demo is cooler than the damn record?
a lot.
You know how that works.
How many times have you gone in and they said, Pepper, your scratches were better than what you're laying down right now?
Yeah, and then you accept that and go, all right, just fly in the scratch track.
Yeah. I mean, and I'm pointing at Josh right now, if you can see, because like Josh will be like, dude, it sounded way better on the scratch. Put the fucking scratch on it, man.
And you really can't overthink things like that. It's important to let the song be its thing, you know, and not try and beat it to a pulp, because you know how it works every time.
Yeah.
You know, take number 9, it ain't going to be as good as the one you were sharp on, you know.
Yep.
So just go from there.
But I think that's learning to accept the small little flaws, and that's part of the art. Sculptors didn't go back; they didn't have computers to go back. If they made a mistake, that was there. It's there.
It's already chipped out.
Yeah.
You better start polishing.
Exactly. But I think I wish people would be more accepting of those things, because I think it does allow you to be more open and allow more things to happen. And
it sounds real.
Yeah.
It's not. I'm not a Pro Tools guy or any of that kind of stuff. But when you get to that point where you're writing things, and some of those mistakes are absolutely beautiful. Mm-hmm. I can name many Skinner songs that are not exactly perfect in today's era, but they grab my soul, mm-hmm. And those things are important. And when you're really singing and doing your thing or playing guitar, you flub a note, yeah, you can go back and punch it in, but maybe that little feedback thing was really cool. Mm-hmm. Put some reverb on it, let it go, and just punch that reverb in right there and make it sound intentional. It's all kind of tricks, but it ain't, it's really not tricks. If the song has that thing and it's doing it, don't fuck with it.
Sometimes when we're in the studio and we're maybe, banging our heads against the wall on a particular song or whatever, sometimes Josh will just look over and like, all right, we're turning the click off. Let's just jam and let's see how that goes, mm-hmm. and sometimes that'll help. There's, like you said, it's not necessarily tricks, but you don't want to beat the song up too much. Sometimes it's as simple as turning the click off. Sometimes it's as simple as try this instead of this, and then bam, it's there, and it's still us, and it still sounds like us, and
And then sometimes, when you're doing stuff like that with the click or whatever, if the drums are solid and they're flowing and you hear them in your head and your cans and it's doing its thing, and all you got to do is play on top of that, and it's your brother playing drums so well, it's all good, and you just feel your way through it, and you're on point, And it might be for a COC song, it might be some fast thing, or some of the slower songs are the toughest things to do, when you got to be in the pocket. And that's not easy to do. And a lot of people don't realize how hard it is to be bad company.
It's tough, and what we did on our last two records was, our drummer Dave he's a rock and roll drummer. I mean, that's it's the easiest way to put it. We took all of his drums away from him on the last two records. Josh took them all away and, basically set him up like a 3-piece kit.
I gave him a kick snare and some cymbals to play with.
Yeah.
And that's what we did. But, if you go back and listen to all those country records, that's all they're doing is a kick and a snare. Yeah. Maybe a hat.
Interesting. Yeah. And then,
but it's just kick snare.
And that, it works every time.
Yeah. Keep it simple, stupid. The KISS theory.
Yeah. That works in theory too. But if you're trying to do something like a COC record, like In the Arms of God, you got to throw that out the window.
In the Arms of God was
everything is on 10, and you're just at a point where you hear the track back. It's like, I got to sing on top of this. It's like, shit. Yeah. Now you got to go from the smoky barroom thing to being on top of the fucking mountain. It's like, whoa. All right, we just created something that's really pushing something that we've never been in before, in terms of like the drum playing. Stanton Moore was playing drums and getting on that stuff. And it just, once again, you can't control it. You got to pony up and get ready for when you put those headphones on, or what's going to come.
Well, and I'm glad you cited In the Arms of God, because, you guys put Volume Dealer out, and then after Volume Dealer, you did Live, and then In the Arms of God, right? And Volume Dealer is very melodic, and In the Arms of God, it sounds like y'all just
threw it out the window.
Let's go to 11, and and I've always wanted to ask you this question, and I don't know why I never have in the times that we've got to spend together. All that happened in the Arms of God. That was, y'all released that right after Daryl passed away.
Yeah.
Was have anything to do with it? Because I know the relationship with Phil and Pantera guys and all that, and I don't know. I'm just asking. I don't know.
Yeah, the dime bag thing was we were making the record, and it was already called In the Arms of God. And nobody knows this, Cody, to be honest with you. We were tracking a solo. I was doing a solo for the song In the Arms of God. I think this is what song it was. But it was one of the fastest, weirdest solos I'd ever done in my life. And I was like, what in the fuck did I just do? And then the phone rang like 5 minutes later. And they came in the control room and said, Pepper, you need to come in here, take this phone call. And it was that. Daryl had been shot. And, we stopped recording right then and there. And I flew home to New Orleans and went to Texas. But it was heartbreaking, but there was something weird that was going on. And nobody could tell me anything different, that I knew what I was doing at that minute was the weirdest thing. I could never play that fast in my fucking life. And, yeah, it was shocking, but the record was already titled that, and we just completed it. We had to go back and finish it after that. And, it was heartbreaking, but there was a degree of something that was there that made it seem like it was supposed to be that way. I really don't know.
I don't either. And that may have seemed like a weird question, but just the timing of all that happened, Daryl, what happened to him. And then you guys putting out this incredibly intense, our amps go to 11, project. And I always wanted to ask you that, and I just never have. So I appreciate you being candid with
it was
that.
a monstrous record, and I think it was, there was one thing where Deep Purple, I think, had put out a record called Fireball, and then they came back and put out Machine Head, which sometimes I kind of, for a layman, I compare like America's Volume Dealer to In the Arms of God. We just threw the past out the window and just kind of did something completely different.
Mm-hmm.
But the America's Volume Dealer record was a really fun thing to do because we were just focusing on songwriting and doing super tight stuff. And, we did Stare Too Long, that song, and Warren Haynes played guitar on it, played slide, and just things that other bands in our genre weren't doing, which always makes COC as a band feel good when you're stepping outside of your zone. That's kind of our thing,
Well, and yeah, you had mentioned that earlier, in terms of, you guys were kind of always about that pushing, it's like, let's do this. We don't have to do this. We can go try this, do this here. But, going back to America's Volume Dealer, which, the Deliverance record is what we got in there, is what I heard first and got me into it. And then, I went back and got Blind and all that. And obviously, Wise Blood. And, but America's Volume Dealer, when that came out, I think I probably had the same reaction everybody else did.
Yeah.
Like, what the fuck? And then this is fucking awesome. And that is my favorite COC record. And, it's close. I have my favorites and stuff
it was
that.
A very interesting record to do. And there's a lot of tension involved in it. And this thing called Pro Tools that just showed up.
Mm-hmm.
So we were dicking with Pro Tools. And we just decided to make this uber clean record. I'm not sure if it was a good mistake or a bad mistake, but I think the way it
was a great mistake, Pepper.
And the way the songs are was correct in a time and a place. You can't go back and change it. I don't go backwards. But I think that record was really fun to do, and it was challenging to do. And to make it all flow as a record, like a song like 13 Angels, was totally, I thought, awesome. But it was perceived in a different way when it first came out. And now the same people that dogged it are like, it came out too early. It was ahead of the curve, which happens a lot and with certain bands. They do something and all of a sudden it's cool. years later, once people realize can get a grip on it. But it was a fun record to do, and it was great. The songs are solid, and it sounds, it's in your face the whole time.
Oh, it's wonderful.
Hey, Pepper, do you feel like, and this just kind of hit me, do you feel like your type of genre has to invent themselves more than per se, a country artist where you just have to sound country, and that's your job? Do you feel like that there's more, like I said, more, what's the word?
I don't know. It's kind of hard to say. I just know what COC as a band needs to do, and it's not like you have to reinvent yourself every time. We have our mantra that we can do things in and within, but we're not scared to step out of the zone. And I think that's the fun aspect of it, where a lot of bands make the same record over and over and over, which is fine. If you're AC/DC, you better don't step out of that, But COC at an early stage set ourselves up to be exploratory, which means a lot to me, So that was a big thing. We had to get out of this, crushed guitar, 4-minute song, get out, be pissed. I was like, we're gonna get old in this band, dude. I ain't doing this shit. I'm not singing this when I'm an old man. So slowly started sliding that way. But because our minds were expanding and we're listening to Skynyrd and Robin Trower and whatever, ZZ Top, and getting out there, but we grew up on the Bad Brains and Black Flag and all those things. And then you start just realizing you can do it and keep your past with you and move forward, and don't forget where you came from, but just expand on it,
Yeah. That's the second time you've mentioned Black Flag. Do you know Henry?
Yeah. Yeah.
As I am a huge, I've read, I think, every book that he's written. I think I have a copy of on my shelf, and my son loves to go through my LPs, and every time he pulls Black Flag out, because he knows I'm going to go, I don't think you're ready for that one yet, buddy.
Let him be 15 and quit school, and then let him play.
Yeah. Once you're 15 and you're smoking cigarettes, I'll let you listen to some Black Flag. But another band you've cited a couple times, and just ended up. This was one of the most fun, I think, rock and roll experiences of my life. We did a show with Corrosion Conformity with you guys up in North Carolina last year. And
boy, that was hard to get to, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Which one?
Up in where were we at?
Charlotte.
We were in Charlotte, and after the show in Charlotte, you basically just jumped on our bus with us because we were going to do going to do a couple of dates with Skynyrd. And after the show, I thought you had left after the show. And I didn't know where you were, because I texted you like, hey man, had a blast, love you guys, thank you so much, this and that. And I was like, well, shit, dude, Pepper, had to take off, whatever. And then I look at my phone and it was like midnight or whatever. You're like, hey, what do you think about me just jumping on you? Because we were ending the tour in New Orleans, and you're like, just drop me off at home. I'll go do a couple of days on the road with you guys and drop you off at home. And one of my favorite things ever in the whole wide world that I will look back and remember and say, you know what? I never won a fucking Grammy, and I never won a fucking ACM or a CMA. But I remember standing on the fucking side of the stage with Pepper singing our asses off when Skynyrd was playing.
Yeah. It was the last show they were playing in Alabama.
Yeah.
And they played Sweet Home Alabama. I tore my shirt off, started swinging there. Tears running down my face,
Yeah.
I was like, holy shit, I'm on the damn side of the stage with Skynyrd. And Cody.
You're the only guy I know that he gave up his bedroom to get back in a book for.
Yeah.
That is true.
That was, I was like, I put two and two together. I was like, well, hell, it's going to be at the Sanger Theater in New Orleans. I got a plane flight out of here. I just fuck the plane flight. I just jump on the bus and go see Skynyrd and Cody Jinks at the Sanger Theater, and I can take a fucking taxi home. Done.
It was so much fun, man.
Me and Jenny had a blast, and it was magic, dude. That was a real thing. Alabama, get the, you know.
It was like I said, you know, that's forever, you know, one of these days when I'm an old man and you know, somebody's taking notes for a memoir, I'm going to remember me and you.
That was super real.
Yeah, staying, you know, and you being on the bus for a couple of days. And it was surreal for me too, because you have to look at it from the aspect of, you know, Cody, the 16-year-old fan of Pepper and COC. And then we're on the road with Skinner after having done a show with y'all, and you just jump on my fucking bus, and I'm thinking, I've made it.
The reason I didn't say goodbye is because I was packing my bags to bring over to your bus and say, "Here's the deal."
Yeah. Well, but those few days were so fun, and I'll always look back on those very, very fondly. But that was definitely one of those rock star moments, you know, that was like touchdown in my book. I've made it.
Well, hey man, me as well, you know, and kudos to you for opening for Skinner. You know, that's real. You know, that shit don't fall off a tree, man.
Oh, but I want to talk about the first time I actually got to meet you face to face, because I'd gotten a hold of my management. And hell, it's been, I guess, three. I've been in this house for 3 years, and I was in the old house probably 4 years ago or so. I had my management, you know, reach out for whatever reason to do shows or to write or just say, "Hey, there you go." I'm about to have to go get me another one. But we were 10 minutes later, he sent me your phone number. I had just said, like, "Hey, I want to get a hold of Pepper and, you know, see if we can write, collaborate, or jam together, or, you know, this and that." And he just sent your number over, and we kind of got to texting back and forth a little bit and whatnot. But I remember the first time we met, you were playing in Dallas at the Bomb Factory with I Hate God and BLS, Black Label Society,
which is a really fun tour.
It was a really fun show.
Yeah.
And then it was my wife, Rebecca, and me out there. And that was really whenever we got to meet you and Jenny after I remember walking into the Bomb Factory to the backstage and met with you back there. And you introduced me to Jimmy Bauer. I didn't know he was a fan of country music, you know, so
encyclopedia.
That was super cool. And that's all me and him talked about for a good while. But we ended up back on your bus that night. And I have since quit drinking hard liquor, and you don't drink hard liquor very much that I know of, but we got into a bottle of Patron.
Are you sure about that?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure because after we got off your bus that night, I was cross-eyed and I found the nearest tire I could take a leak on, and it was Black Label Society's equipment trailer.
Uh-huh. Good luck with that.
Yeah. Well, see, what happened was I was out behind the club. I'd just gotten off your bus, cross-eyed drunk, and I was like, "Oh, there's a tire." And I wasn't really even peeing on the tire. I wasn't being disrespectful, peeing on a man's truck or tire or whatever. I was just kind of using the semi-truck to kind of block me. And I hear this. It's like 3 o'clock in the morning. I hear, hey, man. And like I turned and still had like my dick in my hand and everything, you know, like I look at the guy, he's trying to talk to me and I'm peeing. And he's like, man, stop, man, stop, you know? And I was like, what? I'm just peeing. Anyway, I thought that was funny. You might need to tell Zach about that. Sorry, Zach. Sorry, Zach.
Yeah, that was a fun tour. It was good to meet. That's the first time we hung out.
It was. Yeah.
And you know, you sent a message, I guess your manager contacted my booking agent or whatever, blah, blah, blah. And he called me and said, this guy, Cody Jinks, is interested in hanging out with you and writing some songs or something. I was like, I checked your shit out immediately, you know, and I was like, damn, this dude's fucking real, you know? And of course, second I meet you, it's like we're peas in a pod. We know each other for years, and it was, you know, and those things are magic and I thank you for reaching out on that.
Yeah.
I never would have done that, you know, but it's awesome to be involved with you. I've known you,
3 or 4 years.
4 years now, something like that, 3 years. You know, if I call Cody, he's going to pick the damn phone up.
Well, and it's not something that I do very often. I don't, and you can ask
Me
Josh.
neither.
Yeah. Josh and I have been together for 13 years, and I can't think of another circumstance or another human being where I've said, just give me a hold of this guy, and it actually happened. So yeah, man, it's been fun to get to know you guys, man. And you guys have always been so nice to us and gracious and, just Woody and Mike and just so lovely. And people don't often think of the word lovely when you're talking about a bunch of long hairs and playing heavy shit and all that kind of stuff. But you guys really are salt of the earth. And
the funny thing is your shit's equally as heavy. Not that we're like uber heavy, but you write some heavy shit, man. And it connects with people. And I don't care if you got a wall of amps or not. It doesn't take that to be heavy. But
yeah.
Once again, it goes back to the songwriting thing. Because if you mean it, I believe it.
That's true. Well, and I guess our biggest song is called "Loud and Heavy," and "Loud and Heavy" is a complete metal progression. Like it's like if you like you can take that one and give it a good Iron Maiden gallop and have a different and cool and new song. But gosh, no, it's been a blast getting to know you for the last several years, and obviously you guys came back out because y'all took a break and you came back out with No Cross, No Crown, which is a fucking rad record. Now I have to ask you this because this is also another question I've always wanted to ask you. Cast the first stone?
Mm-hmm.
Cast no stones?
Right. Yeah.
I'm just
Who was first?
I was casting a stone, not casting a stone.
I know, man. I was just
But
goofing.
that was, it's pointed, whatever, but your take on that is equally, I probably shouldn't cast any stones, but.
No, I just had to bust your balls. I also have to get another beer. Y'all give me just a second.
I just pissed in a flower pot while I answered that.
I thought that's what he was doing. It looked too good.
I was looking down, going, what?
Well,
All right.
it wasn't the BLS trailer though. I pissed on that.
No, it's just old shitty flower pot.
Oh my God.
I saw the way he was standing. I was like, man, it's not that.
Now I got to dispose of this urine. Hang on.
All right.
Look at that right there. I had to go get me a few of those.
That's a big beer.
It's a big beer. This is one beer. I'm just drinking it like that.
Wish Miller Lite could see that.
Oh, I was in. We stopped in the Chillicothe Allsops
Who just
today.
handed you that beer, Cody?
What's that?
You got a beer handler? Somebody just hand you that beer?
No, I had to get my
Pulled
own.
it out the box?
No, I said, I'm
all right.
I'm self-sufficient. But actually, this box of beer that I bought was a few hours ago at the Chillicothe, Texas Allsops, which has the cleanest bathrooms on 287. If you headed to Amarillo, just a shout out there. The Miller Lite, I shit you not, I'm masked up, dude. I have like my black thing that goes up to here for my social distancing and all that. And I walk into this store, and the Miller Lite guy there is putting the Miller Lite in. And I walk up and like, I got my mask on, right? And so the guy's looking at me funky, and I'm like thinking that he's pissed off because I'm trying to take, like, I just loaded that fucking beer, dude.
Yeah.
Messing
my shit up, but so I just grabbed an 18 pack and walked up to the thing, and I turned around, and the guy's got his Miller Lite shirt on and everything. And all he said was, "Are you really Jinks?" And I said, how the fuck did you know that, dude? I have a mask on. He goes, the tattoos and the Miller Lite.
You should have ran out the store and yelled fraternity prank.
And I walked to the car. This is like 3 or 4 hours ago. I walked to the car. I was laughing. I was like, "What are you laughing?" I was like, "I got noticed with a mask on just because I have a case of Miller Lite and my tattoos."
You probably remember them ripping you off that St. Patrick's Day. Remember that filter they had, the hat, the beard?
I think they've used my likeness on a couple of different occasions.
Yeah.
They know they don't have to pay me because I'll drink
I
it
got
anyway.
that one time in Mississippi, middle of nowhere, buying some beer, had a bandana on. This guy's like, "Holy shit, are you Pepper Keenan?" Said, "Not right now."
Not right now. Yep. Yep. I've given that one. I've given the not right now, and then I've given the nope, I'm dad right now.
Mm-hmm.
I've given that one before.
Absolutely.
We can talk about homeschooling. I know you guys are doing that.
Yeah.
How's that going for you?
You know, it's just so weird being as much of a travelers as much as we travel around the world, right? And to be this sedentary is insane to me. I am not good at doing nothing.
Yeah.
You know, but I have priorities and I'm doing what I have to do. But it's very strange to have it all taken away from you. You know, it's not just me and you, or it's everybody in the whole world. But it's very weird to not connect with people anymore. You know, that's a heartbreaking thing to not see your buddies all over the planet. You know, like you would be doing on a normal year.
Are you afraid of like getting used to this feeling of not going out?
I mean, I can do my thing, but my thing is also with people. You know,
Yeah.
Especially growing up in New Orleans, and you know, you just grew up that way. You know, we're not socialites, but we hang out. You know, and to be confined and told to be confined is a hard thing to adjust to. So I run like crazy, I exercise like crazy, and the day's over and the next one comes. It's like, what the hell?
You know, you were saying a while ago, it's kind of sad because I was, obviously we're about to be in month 8 of being in touring bands that are not touring right now. And I told my wife, I said, I feel like I had my stage taken away from me because my whole thing was always I needed to get home to recharge,
right? Because
I needed to get back out with all of the people that come to hear us play our music, so I can give that away again. And that's how my life works. I can't wait to get on the road.
It's what you do.
And I can't wait to get home.
8 million other musicians doing the same thing in the same boat. I talk to people all the time, and they're like, "This is the weirdest thing we ever had to deal with." You know, you're sitting at home, not in your element, and trying to adjust to something, and you can, yeah. I mean, I can bang a hammer, I can build birdhouses or whatever in my garage, but that ain't gonna cut it, you know.
Yeah, yeah.
So sooner or later, hopefully, we can get back out there. But it's important, not just for me, but for everybody else involved, that we can play music, have friends, be back together. You know, maybe, you're not going to hug everybody and do all that shit, but it's, we're losing, society is losing something that is really a big issue with how the world evolves. You know, if you're not shifting from place to place and spreading different types of things from here to there, it becomes stagnant. You know?
Do you feel like, Pepper, do you feel like we're losing, coming out of this, do you think we will have lost that kind of quote unquote personal touch?
I mean, it's hard to say, man. It's really hard to say. We are in uncharted territory right now. So we just have to maintain what we're doing, I suppose. But I'm thankful that when I was on the road, that I was never a dude who just sat on a tour bus and just didn't take advantage of where I was at. And I've had the luxury of going to 40 some odd countries, and I took advantage of it every time. And when that's gone, and now you think about it, it's like, man, I'm the luckiest dude on the planet.
Yeah.
I made friends all over the damn globe, and you get to talk to them via whatever, but it's not the same. And so at what point do we, I guess when we're given the A-OK to get out there, we can get back out there. But until then, we're at a standstill.
Yeah, and it's strange. I have some friends that are doing, some smaller venue acoustic stuff, and like for 100 people and like a 200 cap room or 300 cap room, whatever the percentage is that they'll leave. The other day, a couple weeks ago, my buddy Ward Davis was playing in Dallas, and he lives in Tennessee, and I wasn't going to let him be that close and not go see him, but I brought my guitar, and he was doing an acoustic show. So I said, hey man, just throw me up a DI and a mic and I'll come play with you. And that's the first time I done anything in front of people in 7 months. And I loved it. It was fun. I missed it. But I was always, like you said, I'm not the guy that sits on the tour bus. I'm the guy that gets out there and shaking hands and very approachable. If you want to come up and talk to me, come up and talk to me.
Not because you feel you have to, it's because it's just you're easy.
Yeah,
that's part of the drill, and it's fun.
I would certainly rather, like I like your jibber jabber. I would certainly rather jibber jabber with Joe off the street that has been waiting by your bus for an hour, to get a picture and stuff like that. Things are going to change because, the other night when I went out to play with Ward, people were just coming up, and I wasn't wearing a mask, and most of them weren't either. Kind of like some people have just kind of quit doing COVID, which to me is weird. So that's definitely going to change because I've seen people do it to you. People just run up and hug you because you're their person. That's they love you so much, and people do it with me and us, and that's definitely going to be different.
I don't know what the future is going to hold on that, but I just want to go back to where we were, and all we want to do is play damn music.
I know.
Yep.
That's it. We don't ask for much.
No.
I don't know if I want to do it virtually.
Well, and a lot of people have done the drive-in thing, and I don't know, man. I had a chance to do one of those, and I said no because to me it was really strange. And everybody that I know that's done one said it's pretty strange.
It's very strange. I can imagine.
Yeah.
We my other band Down did a online thing, and we were just tired of seeing bands in a beige room with one mic.
Mm-hmm.
So we went to a movie studio in New Orleans and just set up a full PA. It did it.
Yeah.
Bombastically. It had lights and all that crap, and it was awesome, and it was loud, and it felt like we were a band. But when you finished playing, it was just a couple of camera guys.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, this is weird, But we got our point across, and it went around the globe, and we had people all over the planet that were sending things back to us, and we could get feedback. And it was kind of fun to be there and just have people from Brazil or Japan or, Germany, whatever, just shouting back to you, And they were on their couches and they had their big screen TV. They kicked their parents out of the house for the weekend and went ate shit. And it was fun to do it at that kind of low level way, but we upped the dose pretty high by making the quality of it good,
Yeah.
And it was fun to do.
Y'all did that. Y'all did that at the end of August, right?
Yeah, it was the 25th anniversary of the first Down record.
NOLA.
So it would have been, either way, it would have been, regardless of COVID, but it wouldn't have been, we were supposed to be in Europe playing festivals for that record,
Yeah.
for the 25th anniversary, but that got canned, you know? I mean, how many tours have you had canned?
Man, we flew to New York to start a tour on March 11th and had a tour bus waiting at the theater. We were in Albany, New York, and flew home the next day. Buses had to drive home. I mean, that's the day the world shut down. So that was the first one we had canned, and they're still getting canned because we're still booking shows. You know, we're still booking shows on the pretense that hopefully we come out of this sooner than later. So we're going to keep booking them, and you know, if we have to cancel them, it's like, well, you know, at least we're trying. At least we're showing people that we're trying to get back out there. You know, when we can.
I don't even know what the radar says. You know, I just keep looking at it like a hurricane map. Like shit. You know?
The only thing I've been able to you know, I've been told next summer is the first proper tour we're going to try to do. Have you guys heard anything of that sort, or have any?
All of our European dates for 2020 were pushed to 2021.
Mm-hmm.
And now they're saying that might not happen.
Wow.
In Europe. And some of these are like, you know, decent sized, big festivals actually. And some of the issues on this is some of the smaller bands like COC, you need to play pickup shows between festivals, get from point A to point B.
Yeah.
And these clubs might not be open. They might not have made it. So now you're not getting fuel in the bus to get to point C, you know?
Mm-hmm.
So that's all up in the air right now as well. You know, and a lot of regular folks don't know how this booking thing's going. You know, but they've lost money, and then every band on the planet, if the gates open, is going to go on tour at the same time.
Yeah.
It's going to be flooded.
Yeah.
You know, so it's kind of a tricky thing.
You know, it is.
They got into consideration at all.
I'll tell you what, though, you know, when we do come out of this thing, I did have this question written down because a couple years ago, when we were out, we were doing, remember in 18, Josh, it seemed like we were doing a lot of rock boxes. We were doing a lot of rock and roll clubs. And and I can't remember if it was, who you guys were out with, if it was Clutch or somebody else, but we seemed to be following you guys around, and especially like in New Mexico and Arizona.
Wasn't that Quaker when they were doing stuff with Quaker City?
Oh, were y'all out with Quaker and Crowbar?
Great, man.
That was Quaker City and Crowbar, right?
Yeah, I think it was that time frame. Yes.
Okay, that's what it was. Yeah.
Was,
shout out to those guys.
That was near the end when, you know, you started hearing about COVID. You know,
Mm-hmm.
It was like the end of the summer. Yeah, it was something strange was going on. But those guys are awesome.
Oh, they're great, man. Me and Sam grew up together, and I know they had just they were like, man, we're going out with COC. It's like, dude, they're the nicest guys.
They're in the house now.
Yeah, yeah. They got a big thrill out of that, man. They're such good dudes. But where I was going with that build up was once this stuff goes away, and having said that, you know, we played a lot of the same venues that you guys have played all over the country. Where do you want to play? Some of your favorite places and why?
I mean, to be honest with you, Cody, I don't even know. It's been so long now. I'm like, is this something I want to continue to do? You know, it's just you sit on your ass long enough to become complacent.
Mm-hmm.
Hang on, my mom's calling.
Go ahead, man.
I'm kidding.
Put her on. I like the fact that he has like the old school phone ringer.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be surprised if that's a real landline.
Is that like a real landline with the curly cord and everything?
Oh.
It was Mom.
Yeah.
You know, one of my favorite memories of Loud and Heavy was whenever you guys went on right before we played Loud and Heavy, and you guys got wrapped up with y'all set, and then y'all went over to the other stage where I was at, and my mom got such a kick out of this. You were standing there by my mom, and you said something along the lines of, "Mama Jinks, look what your son has done," or something.
Yeah.
Something to that effect. So I guess that would be my answer. Once we get started back up again, man, we just we need to go find us a big ass field and throw a party.
Hey, man, I'm in.
Yeah, let's do it.
Your mom's beautiful, by the way.
Oh, thank you, man. She's a wonderful lady.
Can't get there without your mom.
Well, no, sir, you can't.
That's a damn fact.
You can't get there without your mom, and my mom has been very instrumental in what I do and why I do the things the way I do. But are you writing any? Are you fooling around with anything?
I got some ideas. I got some, content that I'm going backwards a little bit, pulling out some of these old tear jerkers. I was always saving these songs till I got old, and now I'm old. Might be
At some point, you have to stop saving.
Yeah, exactly. But it was when I was younger, I wrote a bunch of songs for when I got older, and now I go back to them like, that's pretty good, based upon where I've been and what I've done, and I'm old, not old physically, but mentally.
Yeah, right. That mental taxation is as hard as the physical is.
But yeah, I not as much as I should be, to be honest with you. I'm just trying to keep the ship right.
I hear you, dude. I just quit smoking. It's been about 14, 15 months. My goal was to do it by 40. So hopefully, that was a good decision.
That's a smart idea.
Well, yeah, I started trying to quit smoking several years ago, and hell, the first time I met you, I didn't even take them with me. Yeah. All right. So we got questions, or actually some rapid fire questions from Keith and Josh.
Oh, here we go.
No, it's easy.
Here comes the British press.
Hit them, boys.
Josh, go first.
All right.
Say it with a British accent.
All right. Do you believe in ghosts?
Yes.
I had
First
a feeling. I had a feeling you'd believe in ghosts.
Duh.
Have you ran a car out of gas?
I've siphoned gas out of people's cars.
Didn't answer the question, but that's okay. And what can you eat within an hour and just eat a ton of?
Oysters.
Oh,
Yep.
okay.
All
Bobby
right.
Keith.
Morning person or night owl?
Morning person.
And a favorite 2 a.m. meal?
Kirk's beer from down.
And favorite video game if you ever played them?
I don't play games.
Okay, I don't either.
I don't play games either, but I would drink. I would drink Kirk's beer.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I love it, man. Well, hey, brother, I can't thank you enough. First of all, for your music, Corrosion and Conformity. We have Pepper Keenan with us, and I don't even know if I said the name of the show, but I was too damn excited. Pepper was on this. Been listening to A Couple In, and we've had Pepper Keenan from Corrosion of Conformity and Down. And Pepper, first off, thank you for your music, and thank you for your inspiration. You've truly been an inspiration. And I was writing down COC songs that I've covered through my life. When I was in the metal band, we used to cover "Vote with a Bullet" and "Clean My Wounds."
Mhm.
And since in the country stuff, at one point or another, I've done "Shelter" and "Stare Too Long."
Now it's a vote with a silver bullet.
Not with a silver bullet, yes. But just thank you for your songs, and thank you for your friendship. And man, I just I can't thank you enough, man. I think the world of you.
I appreciate it too, Cody. I'm so glad that we are buddies and friends, and I got your back, you got mine, and it's wonderful to become friends like this, because what you're doing is real, and the country music world needed that, and you are consistent, and you keep writing songs, and you write these beautiful songs, and do it in such a way that people attach to it, and it's not aggressive. Sometimes it is, but it is saying something that the world needs to hear. And I think hopefully you need to go to Australia is what you need to do.
We were supposed to this year.
You killed
We were supposed to, actually, we were in the process of booking our first world tour. We've done Europe before, but we were in the process of trying to nail down Australia and Europe and Japan this year.
Your music is broad and it's beautiful and it really resonates with people and it's correct, without even trying to be. It is what country music needs right now. And I appreciate that more than you know.
Well, I thank you for saying that. My whole thing is that you can ask anybody that hangs out with me. I'm just trying not to fuck up. That's kind of my deal, man.
Stay between the ditches.
I'm just trying not to fuck up, man.
You ain't fucking up.
So until we get to, and thank you for the kind words, man, but until we get to do this thing face to face and get back out and play some shows together, or at least just hang out and have a beer, man, just thank you for everything, and thank you mostly for your time. And you've been listening to A Couple In with Cody Jinks, Josh Thompson.
Thank you, guys.
Absolutely, Bobby Keith Kilgore.
Thank you, man. I appreciate it.
And our engineer, Seth Noseworthy, coming out of Nashville, Tennessee, turning the knobs for us. And I can't think of anybody I would have rather started season 2, episode 1 of A Couple In. Our very special guest today, Pepper Keenan. Thank you so much, buddy.
Cody, I love you guys. Be careful out there. Hey, everybody listening to this thing, make sure you guys stay safe. We don't know what this thing's doing. I'm tired of it. Everybody's tired of it. But let's just make sure we can get out of this. Because if we don't, we're going to sit in our damn garage till we can't see straight. I'm tired of it. And I believe me, I ain't sitting in my garage. But let's just do the right thing, whatever that is. But
wear a fucking mask. Wear a fucking mask. Yeah.
Yeah, put a damn bandana on. Don't spit on anybody, and just get your beer. I didn't know if that's proper to say, but yeah.
No, that was like the best like redneck PSA ever. Put a fucking bandana on and don't spit on anybody. Oh my God! All right, it's been too much fun, Pepper. Love you, buddy. Thank you so much, man.
Say, love you, Cody.